Time now for the Morning Rush.
We start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Looking at a mostly to partly sunny sky over the state today. No rain or snow expected yet. Tomorrow we'll actually have a better chance over the north and northeast as a cold front backs in here. The rest of us, though, finding some stronger winds across the state beginning Friday and continuing through Sunday. Crystal?
Start with news happening now. President Trump traveling to West Virginia for a roundtable discussion on tax reform. There's no doubt border protection will likely come up, though. The president is now authorizing the use of National Guard troops along the southern border after signing a proclamation. This morning, we're waiting to learn how many National Guard members from New Mexico could be sent to the U.S.-Mexico border and when. As soon as we learn more, we'll let you know.
Happening now this morning, Republicans and Democrats are reacting to the president's decision. In a statement, Republican Governor Susana Martinez says she appreciates the administration's efforts. As for our U.S. lawmakers, Democrat U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich tweeted that the president is out of touch with our reality of our New Mexico experience here. And New Mexico's only Republican U.S. lawmaker, Representative Steve Pearce, tweeted previous presidents found it necessary to deploy the National Guard to the border. POTUS is again having to use short-term strategy. We need a long-term strategy.
On to other news happening now. A drunk driver is starting his 10-year prison sentence today for killing a man in 2016. This despite a new law that boosted the maximum sentence for the crime to 15 years. Richard Abeyta was crossing Central in an electric wheelchair near 60th Street in 2016 when he was struck by a truck. The drunk driver, Lee Garcia, was charged with his fourth DWI, then vehicular homicide when the victim died. Garcia was also given 5 years probation following this prison sentence.
Happening now this morning, APD needs help finding a missing 77-year-old woman. Officers say Joanna Shelton climbed out of her window at the assisted living facility yesterday morning on Layton near Eubank. Police say Joanna has early stages of dementia and was last seen wearing a yellow shirt, black pants. She does not own a vehicle and will most likely be walking. She may also be carrying a small duffel bag and purse. If you see her, you are asked to call police.
This morning, police are trying to find a runaway teen. Take a look at your TV screens here. State police say 18-year-old Isaiah Zamora ran away from a juvenile detention center in Albuquerque. Officers say Zamora has a violent criminal history, including kidnapping and aggravated battery. 2 years ago, he was on one of several people arrested for nearly beating a man to death over a drug debt in the South Valley. If you see him, you're asked to call police.
Happening today, Russia will likely be pushing back at the United Nations. This after the UK accused Moscow of using a nerve agent to poison a former spy and his daughter. Russia has called for an open meeting this afternoon to refute the allegations. It comes as the UN says they've possibly found the lab where the nerve agent was made.
And along those lines, buses carrying expelled U.S. diplomats left the U.S. Embassy in Moscow early this morning. Russia's state-run television showed a video of the bus convoy leaving. However, it is not clear how many of the diplomats were actually on board the buses. The diplomats are leaving as Russia closes the U.S. consulate. Russian diplomats expelled from the U.S. arrived back in Moscow this week.
New at 6, the search is intensifying for 3 children still missing after their family's SUV plunged off a cliff in California. Police say while retracing the family's last steps, they found this photo showing what appears to be Jennifer Hart buying groceries the day before, and the family's car was found at the bottom of a cliff in the ocean. Sarah and Jennifer Hart were found dead on the scene along with 3 of their other children.
On to news new at 6. New Mexico is adopting new rules to make sure every eligible voter will get their vote in for the primary election. The Secretary of State says one rule makes it easier for people who are blind to cast an absentee vote. The rule lets those who are blind or visually impaired cast their vote by using their own technology. The ballot would be sent electronically to the voter after they verify the impairment.
Right now, it's day 4 on the education battle in Oklahoma. This as teachers and community members prepare to descend on the state capitol in just hours. Today, educators will be joined by family and religious leaders in their fight for more funds for education. Teachers say major funding is still needed. Today, 2 bills are up for a vote that would add $40 million to the state's education fund. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index down to a 1, just talking breezy conditions at times. Those winds up to 15 miles per hour coming out of the west. Outside of that, no problems with highs in the 70s and mostly to partly sunny skies on top. Fernanda?
With ever-changing technology, how can parents make sure their kids are staying safe online? Experts with the New Mexico Tech Council say parental monitoring is important. They suggest keeping computers and tablets in the home's common area and encourage parents to use the app their kids are on and befriend them on social media platforms. They say 13 or 14 is a good age to start stepping into the world of social media, but they say the conversation should start much earlier. We have much more on KRQE.com. Crystal?
Many of you have likely done this before. Using the internet to self-diagnose yourself may do more harm than good, though. University of Waterloo researchers looked at the searches for medical treatment of 60 students. They found separating the good information from the bad information is not as easy as people may think. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your morning commute. Not seeing anything major in the way of crashes or tie-ups, just a little bit of a slowdown. I-25 southbound between Paseo and Osuna, moving at about 35 to 45 miles per hour. David?
Happening today, the city of brotherly love honors the Villanova Wildcats with a victory parade today. And the basketball team won the national championship game Monday after defeating Michigan 79-62. The parade will begin in South Philadelphia and end with a rally at Philadelphia's Dilworth Park. This is where the team is expected to make an appearance, and Villanova will be closed for that parade.
My daughter got extra credit because she picked Nova to win.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good bracket.
All right, time now for the 5 facts.
Here we go. Start with number 5. People can now ask questions to the Albuquerque Sunport through a new social media site. Users can post about everything from community events to crime on the site next door. Today, Sunport officials say they are now available to answer questions and address issues like traffic, noise, or even construction. The airport is not alone. Other public agencies like APD and BCSO also use the site.
At number 4, the Belen Police Department is asking for help finding a person of interest following a shooting. Officers say Trent Simpson is being sought for questioning in regards to the shooting. Police say 2 people were shot last night on East River Road. Officers say they were taken to a hospital, but their condition is still unknown. Police say Simpson may be driving a brown 4-door Honda sedan. Officers warn people to not approach Simpson and call 911 if they see him.
And number 3, warm temperatures across the state today with a mix of sunshine and high cloud cover over the area. Strong winds tomorrow with a few spot showers over the north and northeast. Winds continue to pick up through the weekend.
Number 2 now, a former school bookkeeper faces up to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to fraud and stealing from Bernalillo schools. 45-year-old Antoinette Garcia was the bookkeeper for W.D. Carroll Elementary and La Escuelita preschool. She admitted to a federal judge yesterday that she stole between $40,000 and $95,000 from the school's accounts. She's still awaiting sentencing and faces up to a $250,000 fine.
At number 1, an Idaho man is in police custody this morning, accused of heading to New Mexico with plans to kill 4 people. He was halfway here when he was arrested by Utah police. 25-year-old Joseph Bonnell Hall is schizophrenic and told his counselor that people here in New Mexico were harming him through magic, and voices in his head were telling him to commit the murders. That's when his counselor alerted police. Utah Highway Patrol spotted him and with a gun in his truck, and his targets here learned of the attack, the alleged attack rather, but their relationship to him is still unclear.